It may have been just another cupcake game, and we may have to play the first half 8-on-5. But if you see Will Wade coming around the bend, you better get your behind off the tracks.
You are Locked On Wolfpack, your daily podcast on the NC State Wolfpack, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's up, Wolfpack Nation? It's time to get locked in with Locked On. Thanks for making Locked On Wolfpack your first listen each and every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, the #1 sports podcast network, your team every day. Welcome to our Wednesday evening post-game live. It was B2A in the Lenovo Center this evening, 110-64 over the UNCG Spartans. It was an ugly first half. The refs had their mangy little paws all over that. We'll talk more about that in just a second. But in the second half, it was an inevitable beatdown. Once the chains were let go, the boys were free to actually play basketball. We saw pure dominance for another 20-minute window. Another 60-plus points scored in a half. Good Lord. As ugly as this first half was, the second half was equally as beautiful. Another beatdown, more dominance. Kenton, I think this team is just flat out good.
Grayson, you said that it was unsustainable that they shoot 40-some-odd or 50-some-odd% from deep.
Silly me.
I don't know. I know 50% from deep. That's exciting. Now, if they can shoot it, hey, prove me wrong. Shut me up, right? But I think this could legitimately be a 43 to 44% team from deep. I'm not joking. I think 40 to 44. I think that's attainable somewhere in there because this team, they've got a bunch of guys who can drive the ball. They've got a bunch of guys who can shoot the ball. They've got a bunch of guys that can create shots off the dribble for themselves. Paul McNeil, that little sidestep three. What are we doing there? What are we doing there? D. Will, if you sag off, your swag's off. That's 3 to the dome, the easy way. You've got, of course, Jerry Dang being what we thought he was in terms of a stretch four, being a marksman at that 4 position that's going to give teams fits in that way. Matt Abel has been a revelation from deep. We all knew he could get to the rim and finish at a high clip, but the way he is shooting the ball, it's this here. This is the makings of something special. Now, obviously, we want to get rid of the slow starts. We want to get rid of the, kind of coming along and bringing it along and having to wake up because you can't spot other teams that. You may not be able to spot Kansas waking up later. You may not be able to spot Auburn waking up later. But when this team turns it on, when that hot light is on, it's the Krispy Kreme challenge for opponents because they're going to be tired and throwing up in no time. You understand? That is what this team is about. And not only that, defensively, they absolutely clamp down and get it done. This is a team that they do it the right way, and it's never about the opponent. It's never about the scoreboard.
Yes.
4 turnovers, Grayson. Only 4 turnovers. This is a team that's taking care of the ball. They're taking good shots. They're hitting those good shots. How do you defend this team? What do you do? You say, oh, we're going to run everybody off the three-point line. Good luck. Good luck. Run D. Will off the three-point line. I think it'll go great for you. Make Darian Williams put the ball on the floor. Oh, I'm terrified. Paul McNeil. Run him off the three-point line. Yeah, for sure. Quadir Copeland. Run him off the three-point line. I would love that for you. Tell me just how great it goes. Van Allen Lubin would be licking his chops like Mr. Tendonism after the meat fall off the bone. If you know, you know. So this is a team. This is a team that, this feels very different than anything we've ever seen because we've seen teams that have beaten up on teams early in the season, but we haven't seen teams do it this crisply, this cleanly. We haven't seen teams do it in a way that's like, even if Darian Williams was lesser than what he is, this team still feels like they can figure it out. But we do have him. Even if Paul McNeil was to have a cold night, we do have other guys. Even if that front court, even if Jerry Dang and Van Allen Lubin get into a little bit of foul trouble, we'll be okay because of the way that this team plays as a team. It comes at you from 1,000, it comes at you from every angle, death by 1,000 cuts. I love this team, man.
This team is so incredibly deep. It's easily the deepest team I've seen in my lifetime. And I've been doing this for 30 damn years now. This is the most complete basketball team I've seen ever to put on the red and white for NC State. And I feel like I have to preface this every time. I know we've only played 3 games. I know we've played cupcake games. But all the other previous seasons I've watched, it's never looked like this. 318 total points across 3 games is the most we have scored since the year 1990. I actually was not born then. So that's how long it has been since we've performed dominance in our first 3 games of the season. Kenton said it well. This team does it the right way because it's about NC State. It's not about UNCG. It's not about UAB. It's not about NC Central. And next Monday, it won't be about VCU. It's about our style of basketball, how we share the ball. We hunt shots. We play defense. We crash the boards. If you keep that same mindset, you will be an incredibly tough team to beat all season long. And then you get into just the pure shooting we've already seen demonstrated so far. I mean, Darian Williams, a career high 32 points tonight, 6 of 8 from 3. Honestly, you almost want to just count the 2 he missed because every time it comes off his fingers, you feel like it's cash. Just everything he does is so easy. It comes so effortless to him. 32 points, 10 boards. He had a couple assists in there, 1 turnover, and we only had 4 on the entire night. Just the most complete basketball player I think we've seen since TJ Warren. And I really don't think that's I don't think that's up for debate at all. Preseason ACC Player of the Year, he looks every single bit of the part. What a joy it is to watch a player like Darian Williams play for NC State. And I did see that tweet from Aaron Torres right after the game ended. He had Will Wade on his podcast over the course of the summer, and Wade said basically the system they grade players at, they had Darian Williams as the number 1 player returning to college basketball this season. Damn sure looked like it tonight. Looking forward to many more performances like we saw tonight in the Lenovo Center. Good Lord, man. I could go on and on and on about how good of a basketball player, a complete basketball player that Darian Williams is. Let's go on to Paul McNeil here, who also had a career night, 27 points, 6 of 13 from downtown. Another player, I'm fine with the green light all season. He's proved enough already in just 3 games. If he likes the shot, let him take it. Unless he gets out of control, but I've seen nothing to suggest that so far. We used to stress this about Terquavion Smith. It's like, okay, like I respect the aggression, but sometimes you got to reel that back in. Paul McNeil, man, he's going to hit him. He's going to hunt him, and he's going to hit him.
Yeah.
And everyone else on the floor with him, they're going to set him up for those open looks. It has been unbelievable to watch how automatic he has been in just 3 games so far. I also want to spend a couple minutes here on Trey Holloman, who was ejected in the first 5 minutes of the game. That was ridiculous. Total ref show, if you want to broaden the lens here on the entire first half. 26 total foul calls in the first half. I couldn't help but wonder, I sure hope the families of the 3 referees tonight, I hope they tuned in. I hope they wanted to see their loved ones because they were on television all night. I hope they drove to the arena tonight saying, how can I make this game solely about me? Because if that was the goal, you accomplished that in the first half. The commentators on ACC Network had enough of it. The fans on Lenovo Center had enough of it. I had enough of it. Will Wade had enough of it. Shockingly enough, Will Wade did not get a technical tonight, but Quadir Copeland and Trey Holloman picked up the slack. They each got their own technical. Trey Holloman technically, pun intended, got 2 technicals, even though, again, that was complete trash. For him to get thrown out after he was being pushed first, ridiculous. These refs are ridiculous. The ref that actually assessed the technical foul was suspended / forced to retire from the NBA due to some scandal. No surprise that the ACC said, you're going to be our guy. We're going to pick you up. Here's a contract. This is ridiculous. I'd like to have that reviewed, please. Check his FanDuel account. Don't check mine, but check his. Okay, anyway, first half, the only chance that UNCG had to keep this close was to muck it up. They wanted an ugly game, a ton of fouls called, ton of foul shots, hopefully some turnovers mixed in there. And so when I had tweeted very close to the end of the first half, we're going to annihilate them in the second half, I knew that to be true. We started to heat up from all over the court. We were forcing more turnovers. We went on a pretty hefty run there to close out that first half. I knew it was about to get extremely ugly in the second half. And boy, did it. Over 60-plus points again. You wallop them to score 110 for a total. Good grief. I mean, the offense comes at you from all angles. The relentless press will come at you from all angles. Quadir Copeland, I thought, was spectacular tonight. The defensive pressure, and once he gets in the lane, do not let him hit the B button because he'll spam that B button. He will spin through the lane and go for the easy layup all night long. He's a joy to watch. Actually, I talked about Trey Holloman. I forgot to mention Allen Breed. I thought Allen Breed came off the bench because of Trey Holloman's absence and gave you some critical minutes of solid play there. He gave you 4 points, a couple boards, couple assists. I thought he really controlled the tempo of that game when it could have easily gotten, a little bit out of control there once you got a couple techs and a player thrown out. So I want to credit Allen Breed for a very steadying performance there coming in that first half. But yeah, I mean,
hold on. Before you go any further, I want you to think about this for a second. Our third string point guard, right? Or maybe that's not the right terminology here. Our third guy who is our primary ball handler, not named Darian Williams, came off the bench, put up 27 minutes. And in that 27 minutes, he had as many assists in those 27 minutes as we had turnovers as a team.
How about that?
This is depth like we've never seen before. This feels unfamiliar. And this is no disrespect to Trey Holloman. This is actually a credit to Allen Breed and Will Wade and all of the players that stepped up. I think the biggest difference between Paul McNeil and Terquavion Smith is not the green light, is not the shooting ability, it's the players that surround him. Terquavion Smith did not have a bunch of guys around him. He had one or two guys that could hit the shot, that you had to pay attention to that guy and you had to pay attention to Baby T. This thing that we have going on right now, if Will Wade is an American gangster, this is La Cosa Nostra. This is this thing of ours, because I'm telling you right now, you are seeing multiple players coming in and just playing their role to a point where it's like, well, damn, who can't ball out in this system? Who can't come in and eat in this system? I mean, we got Scotty Abube hitting the who you feeling like, Scotty? Who you feeling like with the Euro?
Coast on them.
Who you feeling? We got the third primary ball handler coming in and saying, hey, guys, I got it. I know that Trey's normally the guy that stirs the drink. Give it to me. I'll mix the punch just fine. And this ain't going to be none of that frat jungle juice. This is going to be the good stuff. This is the type of thing that I'm talking about. When you say depth, this team has the type of depth that you could have a starter disqualified in the first 5 minutes and not miss a beat. This is unlike anything I've ever seen here, because I want you to seriously think about this. When's the last time you saw us have a team where the third guy or so off the bench could do this? And I want you to think about this. There was a specific year where we're not going to talk about the name. We're not going to talk about the year. One player got hurt and we were done. That was it. That was it. One player got hurt early and we were like, oh, God. Oh, this young man who probably needs to be playing D2 basketball is going to have to play big minutes. Oh, boy. This is not good. And now we've got a starter, potential all-conference guy get ejected, and the next guy up is like, oh, don't worry about it, guys. If y'all don't know which way to go, I'll make it easy. Follow me. So this is phenomenal. And, you know, this is, again, I know we got to go to break soon, but we could seriously sing this team's praises all day and night. And if they continue with this kind of shooting, if they continue with the defensive intensity that they come with in the second half, and by the way, the adjustments made at half also in these games, this is a very, very tough team to be messed with.
Yeah, we'll get more into those adjustments here in just a second after a quick word from our sponsors. Our first Wednesday evening live show ad read, hello, is SupplyHouse. When the opening whistle blows on a new repair, get your crew moving forward with SupplyHouse. Order today and see parts on your doorstep tomorrow from over 280,000 plumbing, HVAC, and electrical items from the most trusted brands in the business. The real-time inventory and honest lead times will keep you from punting on projects, while their industry-leading customer service always has your blind side covered. The part finder tools and 3D schematics can save you hours on jobs where every single detail matters. And their Trademaster perks like priority shipping and their dedicated phone support line, they make the entire process streamlined. So join the free Trademaster program today and score serious perks like priority shipping, lower prices, and a dedicated phone support line. Visit supplyhouse.com to sign up for free and use promo code SHCollege5 for 5% off of your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Real people, real service. Middle portion of our Wednesday evening post-game live. Again, this is our Wednesday show. So if you were looking for us earlier, this is the Wednesday show. 110-64 over the Spartans of UNCG. Another spectacular shooting performance for NC State. 55% from the floor, 50% from deep, 78% at the foul line. Honestly, you thought you'd shoot a whole lot more foul shots than we did, especially with the way that first half went. But Kenton, you mentioned the adjustments that we made coming out of halftime. I thought the sets that NC State ran, mostly led by Quadir Copeland running the show, obviously with the absence of Trey Holloman, they were a lot more fluid. Guys were constantly moving to their spot, getting through the lane, cutting at the perfect time, seeking shots not just from themselves, but hunting them for others as well. You saw the offense really open up in a short amount of time. And I thought the referees, which maybe we can get into a bigger discussion on that, they're almost like, I've seen this opinion from a couple guys, Ryan Williams in particular, shout out Ryan. It seems like the referees are kind of gearing up for like a bad boy mentality from this Will Wade team. And maybe there's something to that because that's kind of how we feel right now. But they're calling the game based on, it's going to be a PTSD trigger word, tendencies. ACC refs waiting on tendencies. That's how that first half felt. The second half felt like they kind of, maybe got their point across, or they just swallowed their whistle. Once they let the boys play, it was a track meet, and UNCG did not bring their sneaks, or at least did not lace them up. So when you have a guy like Darian Williams, or you have a guy like Paul McNeil, or you have a guy like Quadir Copeland or Matt Abel, when you can just run them up and down the court, that's how you're going to go. And when you make those key adjustments to make the extra pass, you're going to murder teams like UNCG. I'll be interested to see what that looks like against somebody like VCU come next Monday. But when you execute your offense, not worrying about what they're doing, trying to muck up the game, this is how you score 110.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing here, in terms of what this team has done so far all year, I want you to seriously think about how every second half, it seems like they come out and become a whole new team. This is the second half adjustment type of stuff that we've talked about, that we've begged for years. That we've said, and this ain't just about Coach Keys. This ain't just about Godfrey. This is going back. How far can we say that it's been like, please, we know what they're going to do. Now that you know what they're going to do, make them adjust, make them play the chess game, make them beat you at the game within the game. And nobody has come close. Will Wade is playing 3D chess while everybody else is playing checkers. Those guys do not get open by accident. The announcers even said during the game, wait a minute, why do they keep leaving Darian Williams open? You may want to guard him a little tighter. Guess what? You have to pick a poison with this team. You have to pick somebody that you say, all right, he's going to cook us. It's not he might cook us. It's not, oh, well, it's possible. It's this guy is going to give you buckets. Now, everybody may not be capable of a Darian Williams 30, 32 to be exact. Everybody's not capable of that, sure. But everybody's capable of chipping in a major way. Grayson told me a stat before we got on today. How many of our starters are averaging double digits, Grayson?
4 of the 5 were. I believe that's probably still true tonight. Yeah, Van Allen Lubin only had 6. So, yeah, 4 of our 5 starters are averaging double digits.
4 of the 5 starters averaging double digits. And then, again, one of them goes out and the next guy in says, hey, don't worry about it. I'm going to go ahead and contribute in a very meaningful way. This team is phenomenal. This team is what Riley has been waiting for some time. And Quadir Copeland and Trey Holloman, they're bringing that junkyard dog with them. They're bringing that junkyard edge with them. And guess what? Sometimes that dog is going to get off the leash, go a little crazy, bite somebody they shouldn't. But I'd rather have a player, as my coaches always told me, the first coach I ever heard say this was my coach, Dennis Parker. I love you, Coach Parker. I know you listen to this. I'd rather have a guy got to calm down than a guy got to pump and prime to get going. Absolutely. With Trey and Quadir, I'd rather have guys that I say, all right, Q, let's reel it back. All right, Trey, hold on now. We getting a little away from ourselves. Then the guy that I got to say, come on, man, this game matters. This game should mean something. Play like it means something. This was a 0-2 UNC Greensboro team that's probably not going to finish very highly in the SoCon. It's just the reality. But you know what? Trey and Q were still saying, well, you think we're going to take stuff from you? You think we're going to take slack off you? Oh, okay. Let's see how that goes for you. So this team, the veteran experience shows, the coaching ability shows, the shooting ability shows. And think about this. When you talk about where we are in terms of in the nation with the ability to shoot the ball, right? Grayson and I talked about whether or not it's sustainable and how good or bad this team would be. Right now, we are 35th in the nation, which I believe will go up after tonight, at shooting a total of 41% from deep, which I believe is going to go up to somewhere around 43 or 44 based on this game, which would put us in the top 15 to 10. This team is outlandish. They're outrageous, and I love everything about it.
You talked about the junkyard dog and Q and Trey. I want to bring up another comment here from Chilton Jarrett here on the screen. Shout out to Chilton. They say, honestly, I can totally see why everyone else will hate this team, and it makes me love them more. Yes. When you saw Q and Trey over there in front of the UNCG bench, and it got a little scrappy, it got a little chippy, there's some pushing, there's some barking, there's some shoving, there was an egregious ejection, but that's neither here nor there. Q and Trey, they'll take a tech. They're not going to think twice about it because they ain't going. You're not going to push them around. No one on this Will Wade team will be pushed around. You'll see that in year 1, and if he's here in 10 years, you'll see that in year 10. His teams are tough, and they don't just talk tough. They will show you toughness. You're not going to push them around. You're not going to say some wild stuff in their ear and get away with it. They're going to stand up for their teammates. They're going to stand up for NC State. They're going to stand up for their coaching staff. We have always wanted this type of energy around NC State because that energy is very NC State. For decades, we've had to take a bunch of stuff from other teams in the triangle, other teams in the ACC, and we've wanted to protect our own. We're tired of hearing it from everybody else. Now, with Will Wade in town, with this roster, you bark, we're going to bite. So get out our face. We're not going for that no more, okay? I love this energy from this team. Honestly, obviously, you don't want ejections. You don't want a super egregious amount of technicals. But this team, they're going to stand up for one another. They'll take a tech if it comes to it. I'm honestly shocked that Will Wade didn't pick one up tonight. But as I said, Q and Trey picked up the slack for him. We actually do have more technicals than we do have wins in the win column. We'll see how long that lasts. But I love the tenacity from this team, arguably more than anything else. I love the scoring. I love how we're aggressive on both sides of the basketball. I just love the energy because you know what that is, Kenton? It's black hat energy. And I love that I now get to put this on after we win a basketball game because it means something. It means the tide is changing around NC State basketball. The tides will be changing around ACC basketball because I think the ACC, they might be back in terms of basketball. Yeah. And to see NC State hopefully going to be at the forefront of that, it's going to be something special to behold here in the next couple months. So it's great to win another, a big blowout game against a cupcake. But starting from this point on, the competition, it's going to get tougher. We have VCU coming to the Lenny next Monday evening. That will be a tough test. After that, you fly out to Hawaii and you're in the Maui Invitational. You're going to play some P4 opponents out there. So it's been fun running it up to 110, close to 120 a couple times, but now it's starting to get real. Now the execution is going to become more important. We can't afford some of these slow starts and kind of getting baited into a rock fight like you saw there in the first half. So I'm loving the energy. I'm loving the relentless nature of we're going to play NC State basketball. We don't care what y'all are doing. We're here to stop you, but we're not going. We're not going for it. We're playing our style of basketball, whether there's 30 seconds left on the clock or we're in the first half still. We're going to shoot the 3 ball. We're going to play defense in your face. We're going to strip you. We're going to run the court. We're going to do it all for 40 minutes. I almost said 4 quarters. I have football on the brain. 40 minutes. We're going to run you up and down this basketball gym. I love it. I cannot get enough of it. So another impressive showing, 110-64 over the UNCG Spartans. Any lasting comments, Kenton, before we do switch over to some football talk?
You know, I will also say this about this team. You talk about a team that plays for each other. You talk about a team that plays together. Number one, I need one of those black hats, Grayson. I don't know if they got them in extra large.
I'll get you one.
Extra large.
I'll get you one.
I need me one of those black hats. And even beyond that, the black hat energy is what you're talking about, and people won't like this team. I have said this for a long time. There are certain teams, there are certain cities, they just thrive when people don't like them. Guess who's on top of the East in the NBA? My Detroit Pistons. And guess what? A lot of teams do not like them. They feel like they're too chippy, too aggressive, too all of those things. Guess what? The Wolfpack is that team. Everybody can be buddy-buddy when one of the blue schools is at the top. Everybody can be friends. It's the friendliest rivalry you'll ever see. Oh, we respect each other. We like each other. We're best friends forever. But when state gets in the mix, when state is relevant, now all of a sudden it becomes true hate. Now all of a sudden it becomes there's something on my chest I need to get off. This team here, I don't care if nobody likes state. I don't care. You know what I like? That left-hand column being a lot more full than that right-hand column. That's what I like. I don't know about you. I don't need everybody to say, oh, they're wonderful. Oh, when I play the Cats, oh, they're the Brainiac school and they try really hard. They're nice. They're good guys. And all of a sudden, we start putting belt on people. Those kids look grown. They got players with tattoos. They got all this and that going on. That's what I want. I want people making up excuses. Oh, that part here, he's dirty. Oh, Trey talk too much. Oh, D. Will, they had to pay him to go there. He wouldn't have went to Raleigh for free. Good. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to tell us all the reasons you don't like us. Because you know what that sounds like to me? A little bit of whining after that belt get put on you. When you got that good whooping where you was about to go to sleep afterwards, you talk about, I hate it here. I'm going to leave this out. That's what's going on right now. Will Wade and company about to put belt on people, make them do a little bit of whining before they go to bed at night.
I tell you what, the competition's about to get much tougher, and we've been playing well so far. But again, right now, at the very least, it feels damn good to be a gangster. Coming up next, we're switching gears. We're going to talk a little bit of football here real quick. CJ Bailey had some comments in the media, and I thought he had an excellent answer to a somewhat loaded question. We'll talk more about this after a quick word from our sponsors. Our second Wednesday evening post-game live sponsor is FanDuel. The NBA is back. Kenton's Pistons are leading the way in the East, and there's no better place to get in on the action than with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. Even if you missed the start of the game and you want to ride a hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on from everything who will score the next bucket to each and every fourth quarter comeback. Plus, you can even combine your live bets into a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout. It keeps every game exciting, and especially when your team's the one making that late push. Right now, FanDuel's giving new customers $300 back in bonus bets when you sign up, place a $5 bet, and that sucker wins. Head on over to FanDuel.com to sign up and play your game today with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. All right, last couple minutes here of our Wednesday evening post-game live. We're approaching midnight on the East Coast. We have over 200 people in here with us. Y'all are the best. You know that already because hopefully we tell you enough. But even if we don't, we love you. We're glad you're in here with us and especially celebrating a Wolfpack win get used to a whole lot more of these. But quarterback CJ Bailey, ahead of this week's matchup with the Miami Hurricanes, he was asked a somewhat loaded question, and we all know what that question is. Is there any added motivation? Are you thinking about Miami because they recruited you out of high school? What he said in response was, I don't feel like I have anything to prove to them. I have nothing against those guys. I'm focused on winning the football game. Do I want to play well? Yeah. But my focus is on me, is on NC State, on my team, and winning the football game. That, to me, is not only a very mature answer, but it's the correct answer, because everyone's getting all wrapped up in, CJ Bailey, we know where he's going next year. Mario Cristobal's going to drop off that bag on the sideline after the game. That can wait for another time, but I do want to say this. If CJ Bailey's plan is to leave in the offseason, then he's already played 9 different auditions, so to speak, this season. This game on Saturday is no different. It just happens to be in his hometown. This is not a game on a bigger stage because he may or may not have interest in playing for a hometown team, or they're going to want him in the offseason. None of that matters on Saturday. Trust me when I tell you, none of that matters. So I love what CJ had to say in that, look, this game is not about Miami. This is about NC State. I'm focused on me, my team, and going out and winning the football game. That is great leadership from just a true sophomore quarterback.
It absolutely is. And I'll tell you what, this is a moment where it's like, oh boy, Mario Cristobal wants another transfer quarterback. What a shock. What a surprise. CJ Bailey, if you can hear the sound of my voice, let's make one thing clear. When's the last time he developed a quarterback? When's the last time they saw a guy that was unheralded go into a Cristobal coach team and leave better than what he came in at in terms of over years? Oh, okay. Now, with that in mind, the answer to this question, excellent answer. Excellent answer from CJ Bailey, making it very clear. Hey, the mode is to win the game. I'm not making this personal. This ain't becoming something that is bigger than what it is. This is another game for us to win because, again, mathematically speaking, NC State is currently not eliminated from the ACC championship game, number one. And number two, you can still achieve many things this season. They're still in front of you. They're still in front of you. So ultimately, I look at this game and I say to myself, I look at the answer that CJ gave and I say to myself, like you said, Grayson, this is a young man that's mature. This is a young man that's keeping the main thing, and the main thing is to win the game. The main thing is not, I need to throw the ball 45 times and I need to make sure that this passing game demolishes him. I'm sure if you tell CJ Bailey you're going to throw the ball 5 times, hand off 60, and you come away with a win, you take that deal, he's going to shake your hand and take that deal. He's going to shake your hand and say, if I beat Miami, even if my part is just handing off and making checks at the line of scrimmage, more than happy to do it.
Yeah, and not only is NC State technically not eliminated from postseason play for the ACC, but neither is Miami. So again, CJ Bailey is the least of their concerns in, big picture scale. Of course, their job, Miami's job, is to go out there and make them look silly. So they're also not like, oh yeah, CJ Bailey's going to come down here and play in Hard Rock Stadium. We can't wait to, give him the 1-2 after the game. No. Yeah. This is just an overblown storyline. What happens on the field is the only thing that's going to matter on Saturday. And I love the leadership and poise put forth by CJ. So obviously we have much more to talk about this Miami matchup, much more to talk about basketball-wise as well. We know the women's also picked up another win on Tuesday night. First game back in Reynolds. Good to see them back in the old barn, picking up additional W's. But, man, feels good to be a fan of the NC State Wolfpack right now. A very impressive blowout victory, a third one, in fact. Competition's getting tougher. Football's got another tough road matchup here on Saturday. It's that time of year, unfortunately. Well, fortunately and unfortunately, as one comes to a close, the other one's getting cooking. But, NC State, we're here through it all. We all know this to be true. That will do it for us here Wednesday evening post-game live. Thank you all so much for being here, as always. Be sure to hit that like button, drop your comments in the comment box, mash that subscribe button if you have not already. We'll catch you back here tomorrow on Thursday for more. So until then, go Pack.
Go Pack.